This controversial video.
One of his officers is under investigation for punching a suspect in the head during the arrest. Annie Scholz is live on Water Street where that arrest happened.
So Annie, what's the chief saying tonight?
Well, Mike and Courtney, he's saying he doesn't want people to rush to judgment. He admits that video is dramatic, but argues because of that, his department needs to take its time with the investigation.
What I ask the public not to do is to leap to judgment.
Milwaukee Police Chief Ed Flynn answering questions for the first time about this incident on Water Street 1 week after it happened.
We certainly recognize that this use of force has gotten an unprecedented amount of scrutiny from the public, and we understand why.
The video is graphic. An officer punching Jeff Strasser in the head after a drunk driving stop last Thursday night. The chief admits it doesn't look good.
The use of force is seldom pretty. All right? It's not a pleasant thing to use force.
But it is allowed by law if used appropriately. Whether or not it was in this case is still under investigation.
We can slow the film down, we can play it backwards, we can look at it from 4 different directions. It's not always an easy thing simply from the film, and so we have to interview people and take testimony and follow through, and that's what we're engaged in.
And if that follow through takes too long for some people, Flynn says too bad.
They want, the half-hour resolution that they might be used to on a television fiction show. But we have an obligation to the defendant in the charges. We have an obligation to the officer involved. We have an obligation to the community.
And Chief Flynn did not talk about the officer in that video or his status with the department right now. He said once they go through all of the facts, they will talk about it at the appropriate time. On your side, live in downtown Milwaukee, Annie Scholz, today's TMJ4.
We understand the ACLU was also at tonight's meeting. What were their concerns?
Their concerns were actually about transparency in the police department when it comes to releasing information to the public. They do want the department to release more information in the future. Chief Flynn was sitting there for that presentation and heard it before he gave us his remarks.
All right, Annie, thank you.